Let's get into it. We don't get the fan favorite, hilarious cold open tonight that usually, busts our guts up every week. What's up?
They've been listening to the show. They know we're not fans.
Well, this week we've got a trailer for what it would sound like if Christopher Nolan made a rom-com movie. So let's just take a listen to this cold open really quick, and then we'll get into the show.
Smitten. I have these moments where it is terrifying.
Does it seem too fast for you?
Is she really, truly ready? You have to take that leap of faith.
What is going on? What the fuck is going on?
Dylan, to your point, the last trailer for The Dark Knight wasn't that, the music stab was not as intense.
It was
as
not
that.
as intense as this. Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of another Bachelor podcast. My name is Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Pat, producer of the show, is over there behind my glasses.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's my favorite episode of the season.
It's pretty fun.
Fucking Darth Vader. There he is.
Yeah.
He likes hometowns too. Always
Early
has.
appearance from old Darth Vader. Before we get into anything, general thoughts and whatnot, public service announcements, take it away.
Yes, thank you very much, Dylan. As always, my remarks will be brief. I would like to thank those brave soldiers out there that last week waited till the last minute of our episode where I had forgotten that I needed to remind you guys to go over on iTunes for Bachelor, another Bachelor podcast.
Oh, that's
and
right.
give us 5 stars. It's because some losers went in there. They brought our rating down to 4.5. And let me tell you something. When I brought that to Nikki's attention, nothing breaks his heart more than that 5 going down to 4.5.
Ratio speaking, he thought we were safe. It was.
We all did.
It was cataclysmic for him to hear the news.
I know we're always teetering on that 4.75 edge that is so crucial. So I never feel safe, and I was crushed, Pat.
Yes, you were.
This podcast, Life in the Fast Lane, sometimes we get burned.
I would argue that 4.5 is an indicator that you've arrived when you have over 1,000 reviews.
We got to get to the show.
Oh, right. Okay, so anyway, thanks for doing that. And we still need to bank, just as Dylan brought up, the more 5 stars we have, when idiots come in, like a bunch of them, like 5, because one of us said something inappropriate, and they're like, oh, we got to make them pay for that. We can offset that by all the reviews you're leaving this week. So don't even write anything if you don't want to, or leave a great recipe for egg salad. Okay? And leave us 5 stars.
I love the provocative titles because I do think they have an effect on the numbers. I think they bump up the numbers, but like Pat just said, it brings in new people, and I think we have a big red X on our back when we name them things like 3 cis white allies.
Should we get into the show?
Oh, right.
We're just still discussing this. Some really good banter for him.
Yeah.
I have my own PSA.
Yeah.
I've been really working on our YouTube. Please go subscribe to our YouTube. The baby barnacles are absolutely crushing you on YouTube subscriptions right now, and there's less content for them, frankly. So baby birds, let's see it. Subscribe to the YouTube.
Yeah, you guys, we love you, but you've really fucking let us down pretty much at every turn compared to the baby barnacles. They're kicking the shit out of you, so fly out of the nest. Do us proud. Okay, so let's get into the show. Like I said, favorite episode of the season. I'm going to go ahead with general thoughts first. Hometowns have provided us with a good amount of fodder, in seasons past. Whether it's, dads with super soft voices who are like uncomfortably comfortable with the process that their daughters are going through, or jailbird Gabriel, or Dean's dad Hari Krishna. This episode was not that. This was a pretty crummy hometown episode. I thought it was rather boring. I know that we are sequestered at Hotel Nomenclature, but I don't know. It just wasn't doing it for me. 4 pots.
Wow, that's low.
Yep, Pat.
All right, I'm going to say it was a decent episode. There was a lot of surprises with those hometowns. A lot of these ladies, they seem like they got their lives together with good parents. I don't know what they're doing on this show.
Serena's parents? Are you kidding me?
But I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah. All right, this is what I'm going to say overall over this season, because I think that was episode 8. We got like 3 more of these things, and then we're done. Thank God. Maybe it's me. I'm old. I'm cynical. But I don't care who he picks. I know it's not going to work out. It probably already hasn't worked out, and we just haven't had the press release yet. I want to put forth this to any producers of Bachelor that listen to this, because I know you guys do. Okay, every once in a while I'll watch an episode and there'll be an Easter egg, a little wink and a nod to the podcast saying, we're listening to you guys.
Yeah.
All right, so listen up. I want you to install some new things in the coming seasons. Not all these ideas I'm going to put forth.
Listen
you need
up,
to.
producers.
You don't need to put everything I'm putting forth, but at least just workshop it a little bit. So here's the idea. On this show now, if someone picks somebody, mandatory, they got to live with each other for a full year. And at the end of it, you give them $500,000 for, the effort.
Make it a YouTube show.
Another $500,000.
Yeah.
Another $500,000 if you crap out a kid.
Nick's favorite guy.
TV babies. I love them. Who should play that? Put that in there.
No, I'm not going.
All right. So anyway, Bachelor, we know these people aren't going to work out anymore, and I'm starting to lose my emotional investment in these people because I know it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
We need another couple that lasts at least a year, and that's been like 8 cycles since that happened. That's like JoJo.
We need that seniors casting season to fire
yeah, when are
up,
they gonna
because
put that out?
even if they'll likely stick with one another because they understand what commitment means at their age, and if they get divorced, it's even more entertaining because they're ancient people. Getting divorced is like 66. It's more fun.
It is fun.
Yeah. Agenda number 2.
50 rose petals.
Oh, that was it. Okay, got it.
Basically, what it sounded like what Pat was describing is he wants another season of Love is Blind, which we will
Yes!
be covering on patreon.com/another podcast network when season 2 drops.
It's our
Couples
favorite.
forced to be together,
Yes.
and multiple, so then hopefully one will stick.
Favorite show we do. Greatest show.
And I've been on record multiple times this season and last saying I think hometowns can be great, but they are hit or miss. I think we were witness to the miss tonight. I mean, these were just solid, concerned families pleading with their daughters not to marry this man, which was still weirdly enjoyable. 70 knots.
All right, so let's get into it. We don't get the fan favorite, hilarious cold open tonight that usually busts our guts up every
Dale.
week. What's up?
They've been listening to the show. They know we're not fans.
Well, this week we've got a trailer for what it would sound like if Christopher Nolan made a rom-com movie. So let's just take a listen to this cold open really quick, and then we'll get into the show.
Smitten.
I have these moments where it is terrifying.
Does it seem too fast for you?
Is she really, truly ready?
You have to take that leap of faith.
What is going on? What the fuck is going on?
Dylan, to your point, the last trailer for The Dark Knight wasn't the music stab was not as intense.
It was
as
not
that.
as intense as this.
I've always appreciated Mike Fleiss's experimentation with the concept of time.
Yeah. He really rattles some brains after the season's over. All right, so let's get to the sprawling metropolis of Farmington, where hometown nomenclature is set. Matt is crushing abs and rubbing his hands together in that way that handsome black men do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That kind of. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Piggybacking off that joke, the bigot, Chris Harrison, walks in and tells the girls that the families are here. This is a piss poor version of the family week on Survivor. There's no emotion, no real stakes, no real tears even, except for Bree, who cries at the knowledge that her friend Bree is here, which is absolutely insane to me. I was wondering, could you be friends with a Pat or a Nick Davis across Wisconsin?
Ooh, from my hometown, that would be tough to stomach. I think another Nick Davis, we could have some shenanigans. That we've got a sitcom in the works, but not from lacrosse. No.
What about you, Pat?
Yeah, I don't know.
It reminds me of
yes, and
Pat used to tell his friends, he's like, hey, the only reason I'm friends with you is because we live down the block from each other.
Or because you're young.
Yeah, this is definitely why Bree and this woman became friends. They're like, oh, you're Bree, I'm Bree, and now they're stuck. That's why she was crying. She hates that woman.
It's a weak foundation for a friendship. All right, do you want to do a roll call of who's here, or do you not want to do that?
Well, I'll say who's gonna be showing up for what family members, and I'll keep that brief. But before I do, let me get to more important business. Matt and those skinny jeans once again. But my keen eye caught something, and that's
big penis.
Well, those it's interesting you'd say that, Dylan. Those skinny jeans exposed a stereotype that doesn't always pan out.
Little penis.
The man is hung like a gerbil. And I was so delighted to see it. And let me tell you why. Because every once in a while, a person is a perfect specimen that has it all together.
The music's done.
He's not a perfect person.
Now I'm Irish, so God punishes us, okay?
Yeah.
But I choose not to wear skinny jeans for that exact reason, okay?
Exactly.
But Matt does. And overall, like if you look at the man, he's got a great body, nice personality. I guess he's got a good job. But what does he have? He's got a small little ding dong.
Yeah, life balances itself out a little bit.
It's exactly like that beautiful girl that you see walking down the street. Everybody loves her. She's funny. She's got a great job.
Toe thumbs.
Little
Now, her pussy looks like the Tonight Show curtain.
Hate that word.
Oh, you could beep it.
Tonight Show.
I'm gonna beep it. You know what? The Irish having small cocks, I think it's kind of a beautiful coincidence because you're such drunks, right? And I'm a little Irish too, so I get it. You're such drunks. If you had a big dick, it would be impossible to get up. You would never have sex. You know,
Right.
if it's really, you can at least funnel what little blood it requires. You know,
I really like that line of logic.
Yeah.
You know what Freud said about the Irish, right?
they're the only
Little
people.
penises.
Got it. Okay, so
But Pat has an affinity for pointing out this, so it almost seems like his mission to point out black men when
Yeah.
they have small penises.
Oh,
I don't know
done.
if you remember Mike Johnson.
I was even Steven, remember a certain name that I came up with that is still in the lore of Bachelor Nation, Centimeter Peter. Okay?
Oh, that's true, that's
so
true.
come on, I deal this out evenly.
he's obsessed with all men's cocks.
Right. Now let me say this. Let me get back to the
What do
important
you got to say
business.
to me, Pat?
I think you're hung like a fucking trailer truck. So Harrison does show up, as you said, and he
What
says,
you're doing right now is nauseating.
Who, me? Him or me?
Him. He's Shooter McGavin. After you complimented the size, I'm disgusted.
It's more for you. But no, you're going to say
Go
it.
ahead, Pat.
Harrison delivers the bad news that we're not going to get to visit those places where filthy, yucky normies live, okay?
Yep.
The families are coming here, and here's a rundown of who's coming. So
Okay.
Serena, her mom, dad, and her sister are coming. Rachel, it's her mom, dad, and sister. Michelle, just her mom and dad, and Bree, as you mentioned, her best friend named Bree, her sister, and her mom.
So, Michelle is up first. Yeah, we'll get to that. Oh, okay. Regular old Bridget Nielsen.
Do you have children old?
Yeah, I think we covered that. So they go on a bike ride.
Hold on, Dylan. Boy, you're just jumping all over this place. People love
What do you mean this place?
all over the place. Forgive me, I'm tired. When Michelle shows up to the date,
Yeah.
we get
I'm so sorry.
a full jump
I'm so sorry.
and a leg wrap around, a full leg wrap around. But what's of note here is
Yeah.
that Michelle apparently got a call into Matt earlier in the day and was like, you wear the purple top and I'll wear the purple sweater. I'll wear black tight pants and you wear something black that hurts your asshole and also makes your dick look like someone put shrink wrap over a Tic Tac.
Detailed motherfucker.
Thank
over
you.
there. Nick, you okay? Are you dying right now?
You all right, Nick?
I was just like, just wrong pipe.
He was upset by you skipping over the leg wrap around.
All
I
right,
was.
so they bike ride. It's a safe activity, much safer than skydiving, but much more lamer too. This wasn't very fun.
Nah.
It's safe until you take one hand off those handlebars and hold hands. That's not easy.
That's true.
That could have been disastrous.
Yeah, one person gets cute, decides to yank a little bit, and we've got, people falling over handlebars.
You do that thing where you just violently turn the handlebars
Yeah.
and you just jackknife the
Yeah.
wheel.
Yeah, that's
I've
a really
had a few
cool
accidents.
It's a really cool BMX trick where you just jackknife the handlebars for no reason. So, not only was this date a little dull, but it reminded me of the horrors this pandemic has done to our little children in this country. They head to a random auditorium in the middle of the woods to meet her students. They're all in a Zoom call. One child asks, "Is that your boyfriend?" She says, "No, it's a man I've spent 4 hours with, and he's meeting my mother and father tomorrow."
That was Liana.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, the bit continues. She says, we may have sex before he decides not to speak to me any longer. But I'll probably be leaving before that happens. Okay, so the kids begin.
When do we get to play with crayons?
The kids continue with the interrogation. Any highlights?
I'll just read them all the questions the kids asked and their names.
Okay.
Evie asked, what is one thing Miss Young taught Mr. James. Jill said, is Matt going to give her a rose? Evan said, have you guys kissed yet? Mammy said, how many girlfriends do you have? Kelsey and Luke asked, are you going to have babies? Tyler asked, are you going to marry her? And Elise said, how will you inspire Miss Young?
Yeah.
Really tearing holes into the fabric of this content.
These are all
Yeah.
great questions, although I will say, as a parent, I would not sign off on it. It's completely exploitive. It's not like some douche podcaster using photos of his daughter to shake down listeners to join Patreon.
Yeah, that'd be disgusting. Elise is the one that I kind of want to hone in on. What a little bitch. She reads this note about inspiration. She asks Matt how he will inspire Miss Young. Elise, what kind of stupid fucking question is that? I hate her. Jesus. All right, kissies and kissies. Should we get to the family?
We can. I do want to say this. I really like Michelle. I
sweetheart.
think she's super hot,
Super funny.
She's got a real job. She cares about people. You can tell. I've mentioned multiple times. I think she kind of looks like my wife, although her jawline is a little more squared off than my wife. And I got to thinking, if I banged her, she looks so much like my wife. It's technically not cheating.
Oh no, it is.
No.
Where? No, it is though. Technically, it is.
Oh.
Fucking Darth Vader again. He's piping up a lot tonight. I don't know why we haven't ripped that fucking thing out of the wall yet.
You've tried.
All right, so let's get to the families. Who do we got here? Levon and Ephraim.
I don't know how to say his
Ephraim.
name. Ephraim.
Badass name.
I will say, if you gave me even money, which one of these two people is Levon and which one of these people is Ephraim, I would have put all of it on the dad being Levon.
Yeah.
And I would have lost.
Yeah, you would have. That's the dangers of gambling. Okay, so I like the mom a lot. She says that she's analyzing him, and good for you. Be Mama Bear. A lot of really strong mothers in this hometown.
Yeah.
Michelle chats with her dad. He says, what do you like about him? She says that she's really attracted to the fact that he's trying to make a real change in the world.
He's trying to make a difference.
Nick, laugh. Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know what's interesting? A lot of people do buy bullshit pretty easily. When I got valedictorian at my college, when they were interviewing me prior to awarding me with that great honor, they said, what are you doing as far as volunteering? And I just lied and I made some stuff up. Turns out they never check. I mean, later on in life, of course, I volunteered for Meals on Wheels for 14 years, trying to make amends with that great lie.
Was that like an AA program? Like, were you forced to do that, or was that kind of say your own hard type bullshit?
I was trying to make amends.
Okay.
Since we're
went to church one time.
Since we're confessing,
So lost. Sorry.
That's okay. Since we're confessing stuff, I actually think I may have said it on this program, but you can't make amends too many times, right?
Yeah.
When the Nickelodeon had their charitable everybody get involved type program called The Big Help, I called in and pledged thousands of hours of community service, 10, 15, 20 hours at a time, because if you called in, most of the time you got a voicemail, but sometimes you got to talk to a real Nickelodeon personality.
Summer Sanders.
On the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She was one of them, but I got to talk to Alex Mack, who was actually played by the girl in 10 Things I Hate About You. I can't remember her name, but she was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, Alex
and
Mack.
it made all that lying worth it.
Yeah.
So
You
thanks
okay?
for letting me get that
You
off
all
my
right?
chest.
You good?
I don't know if I am.
All right. So Matt begins the night with an impeccable performance with the father. I think he absolutely dismantles him. I don't know. There's not a ton of stuff here. I love her family. The dad seems like a solid dude, pacifist. Mom seems warm. It's the perfect mix of love and wariness.
Let me say this, though. Let me add this on. Michelle is the product of parents being like this. Good parents, supportive,
Yes.
caring, structure. I know all those things happen, but it still begs the question, what is she doing on this show?
Yep.
And I will say this, because Dad ends up telling Matt, which is insane, that if Matt does ask her to marry him, Dad will support that. And that's because I think Dad knows, he's a smart cookie, this one, that even though he showed up to every gymnastic practice and all that, pheromones and evolution will kick in at some point, and Michelle will say, Dad, I don't care, and stay out of my sex life.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. I don't know if Matt really dominated him. I thought the father saw through the facade of just this like empty like executive speech, just
Quiet warrior type.
all the right answers. But I think it's like what Pat said. He knows if he tries to shut down what Michelle truly wants, it'll only have the adverse effect. Let her make her own mistakes.
Got it.
Just please don't marry this man.
Please don't marry this man. All right. So what kind of bomb do we end with this evening? That sounds like fucking Dresden. What's going on there?
You know what? That was over the top because she didn't say she is in love with him. She said she's falling in love with him, which, as I have to remind the audience constantly, that is stage 2 of love in Bachelor.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Rachel.
Okay.
Really had to bite my tongue during the PSAs because I have a bone to pick with somebody who left us a review. Someone said 1 star. They spoiled the show. We said Rachel's going to win, and they left us a 1 star and then wrote this scathing review about how we shouldn't do that. Hey, idiot. We don't know that she won for sure. But if you can't see that she wins, you're as blind as Matt was with that blindfold on his eyes. Fucking idiot. So anyways, they drive to,
I was on the other side of this one. I felt horrible. I felt like we didn't.
We don't know.
I don't even know.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't. I don't.
Me neither.
You know what I do now? Rach has got poor taste in cars. Drives up in a PT Loser.
Oh, wow, was it?
Yeah, it was a PT Loser.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought that was a Prowler.
A Prowler?
Yeah, that was not a PT Loser, Pat.
It wasn't?
No.
It looked like one.
Look up a Prowler.
All right, so Josh and Jacob, I'm assuming their names are those two, come out and says, who's ready to free dive? The guy strapped to Rachel looks to be a 12-year-old who plays a lot of Magic the Gathering. Hindsight's 2020, but I would not have been okay with him behind me.
Dylan, I'm with you. Never strap yourself for first-time skydiving with someone who has yet to produce pubic hair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved the movie Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
But I was like, in this day and age with all the technology, that sort of like pulling off and fooling people just isn't possible with the certifications you need and everything's in computers.
Yeah.
This kid pulled it off.
Right.
This 12-year-old convinced people he is a licensed skydiver and almost killed someone in the process. But
This fucking kid's taking Pan Am stickers off of model airplanes and popping them on checks.
Taking ladies out to steak dinners and such. Let me say this. That was not what the car looked like, by the way. Wrong medium. Nikki just showed a picture. Hey, I want to say this.
Yep.
It's been a while since we got the trust exercise. Mm-hmm. This was a trope way overused for many seasons. The idea of us, and height is always, I guess, one of the things that they utilize is the trust, whether it be a bungee jump or what have you.
Sure.
But
we've talked about it before. Fear
is nature's most powerful
aphrodisiac.
Thank you.
All right, so they say that they're free falling, trust falling, but they pull those chutes pretty quick, and it's not that they're cowards. It's just that this takes too long. I'd be like, why'd you pull the fucking chute right out of the gate? Let us fall a little bit, then yank the chute, you pussy. The fuck? Rachel says she feels like she's on top of the world right now, which is a really, I thought that was a really unique line from her. And then
really unique line?
And then rather quickly, she is not on top of the world. She's
if you want to get literal, still on top.
Okay. I hate you. The wind really whips that chute around right before they land, and she slams into the ground. Matt says that she's not supposed to take that kind of impact. Do you just... I mean, we do it sometimes, but you're just talking, right? You have no idea what you're saying.
Well, he told her, I think this is a direct quote, I think this is the transcript. He said he didn't know how much he was into her until he thought her torso might be in the shape of a pancake.
Yeah.
But let me say something with production here. You guys are really horrible people. The fact that you held back medical staff or anybody else so you could get that shot of that dummy running over to her first, she could have been really hurt. I mean, producing is, someone just died on that Japanese game show. What is it called?
Wipeout.
Wipeout.
I think it's called XCX.
Oh.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, anyway, it's the same kind of shenanigans going on here. She could have been dead and needed medical treatment.
I do not think that happened.
There
the
was
way
a-
that you're.
I took an amazing screenshot of her just with waking or getting up from that fall with sex hair, just really disheveled, and then 10 seconds later she had gotten completely done up. It was fun little movie magic by the actors.
Excuse me. She got face fucked by the ground. He then sits down and talks about her perishing in a brutal skydiving accident and what a bummer that would be, and that makes him fall even harder for her. Right. And hey, 1 star. Listen to the way that he's talking to her about them. Come on.
No.
She wins, okay? Jesus Christ. It is true, though, when you love somebody, every once in a while, you do have these horrific thoughts that come into your head. Like, if she died in a car accident or a skydiving accident, whatever, you know. You have thoughts about your loved ones dying.
Everybody
right?
does. Wife told me she took out $1 million life insurance policy, and I was like, I'm going to have mixed feelings if anything bad ever happens.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Did she?
Yeah.
You have any guns in the house?
No. I hate guns.
She buy any guns?
That would be
I hope not.
That would be an absurd way to try to collect his life insurance policy. A gun, Dylan.
Somebody broke into the house, got into bed with him, and then shot him while he was sleeping. It was so weird. They didn't even wake me up. Okay, so let's get to the family. Pat, who do we got?
We got Mom and Dad, and I think there's a sister rolling around there somewhere.
Yeah, so Dad's a little guy. He looks like the Tootsie Pop Owl fucked Camille Nanjiani.
I think he looks like Erica Estrada from Chips.
Yeah, he does.
He's a Latin man.
Yeah. But
these two things are not mutually exclusive. Eric Estrada looks like the Tootsie Pop Owl.
Fuck Camille Nanjiani. Seriously, check it out, guys. Think about it. So, chat with Mom.
3.
She says that Rachel tells her that she had bruises covered up from earlier when she headbutted the ground at 20 miles an hour. Should we get to the dad? I don't really have anything on their chat.
I just love how in this moment that Rachel wanted to confess to her family that production almost killed her.
Yeah.
So she was trying to tell them in code. She's like, it was really bad. Get me out of here.
That's when she saw those bright colored shoes and those big ears. Hi, Rachel.
Heard you took a little spill.
Dad's got the right idea. He drinks rather ominously through straws and, may not donate to your preferred candidate, but he is asking the right questions here. He's a protective father.
Yep. Why rush?
Rather lackluster evening. I don't know. Do you want to get to... What?
Oh, get to another date?
No. But first, we've got to get to this whole asking for a blessing gate. Matt says he's not going to do this to 4 families / 1 family and ruining the show. But this was, I don't know. I thought it was upstanding stuff from Matt. You compare that to the tank top fan, psycho stalker Colton, who's sitting there, or Pete Weber, like asking every single person for their blessing. It just this, Matt described it as checking the box, and it totally has been that in the past. I'm happy that he didn't do it.
To be fair to Centimeter Peter, every father that he did ask the permission, he did fulfill those.
What?
I think he ended up with 5 of them. He ended up with all of them at some point.
I will ask your daughter's hand in marriage. I just won't follow through, or
That's a really, really good
not
point.
cheat on her.
That's a super good point.
I actually thought it was Matt calling an audible because he knew he was in a precarious position being around this southern family. He didn't want to set off any red flags because if you'll notice, let's go rewind back to Ephraim. He basically gave his blessing without Matt having to explicitly act. So box checked.
Right.
Let's move on to Rachel's dad. Oh, no, I'm afraid of you. I'm not going to ask any of you, but I will tell you she's the only girl I said I love you to.
Good point.
He did acknowledge that. And then when he was Matt later talking to Rachel, he said something about he did not ask for the blessing because it's not about checking a box. It's funny that you said the box checking.
What kind of bomb do we have?
Well, Rachel says that she's falling in love with him.
Before we get to the next day, let's take a quick break and let's talk about this evening's sponsors. Nick, who do we got first?
I'm so excited to tell you guys about this one.
Yeah.
This is Stove Shelf.
Stove Shelf.
Stove Shelf.
Stove Shelf.
Stove Shelf.
Simple name.
simple device,
but life-changing.
Life-changing.
Truly. And
simplicity that will unlock literally a rainbow of opportunity culinarily and who knows in other aspects of your life.
Almost nailed his original catchphrase, which is range of opportunity. Wow. Oven range. Get it?
All right, so explain what it looks like, Nick, to the audience so they know what we're hawking here.
Yeah, so we got about a 2.5
less hawking and telling people the products that we genuinely believe in.
Yes. Is that not the definition of hawking?
Hey, let me sell this to the audience a little bit more. You know the content we're putting out here, okay? We are persona non grata for most advertisers. The fact that someone's going to pay us money to hawk their products, you need to support them, okay? All right? Or no one else is going to sponsor us.
It's this guy and Second Swing. That's pretty much it.
Oh, we got another one, too.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Nick, talk about the product. What is it?
I will, and I want you guys to know, because these guys are going to endorse it right now, not having used it. I'm going to be straight up with you, but there's stove shelves coming to your guys' house, and I can't
That's
wait.
why you asked for my zip code.
Yep, I
Nice.
can't wait for you guys to report back next week with how life-changing it was.
I love
Because
it.
my girlfriend, Jules, very skeptical. She doesn't like things. She doesn't like clutter. She doesn't like more stuff in the house.
She watched that minimalism doc, huh?
She never liked that stuff, and then she watched the minimalist.
Is that
doc.
cute little Asian broad?
No,
Teaching
that's,
how to fold
that's
clothes?
No, that's Marie Kondo.
Oh.
She hates Marie
Idiot.
Kondo. She definitely, if it doesn't make you happy,
Stove shelf.
get rid of it. Stove shelf. No, this is about a 2.5 piece of stainless steel with patent pending magnetic technology.
Can I just ask you one thing? 2.5 what?
Feet.
What'd I say?
Just 2.5.
Oh, it's about 2.5 feet long, stainless steel with patent pending magnetic technology.
Yeah.
Any stove out there, you can just snap it on top, and it
Yeah.
increases your kitchen space, which we all know is too precious, tenfold. Well, not tenfold. That might be some hyperbole, but it's an incredible thing. Go to stoveshelf.com and use code BACHELOR for 15% off.
15% off. You know the drill. If you cook, you have this spice that you need to go for. Oh, it's dried oregano. I haven't found it. I haven't used it in months. It's buried in the back of the spice rack. I can't get to this. What's going on? You know what? I'll not even put the oregano in the dish. And it suffers because of it. But what you can do with Stove Shelf is you can have all of your spices there ready to go. So you never, via just a horrible bout of apathy, forget to put oregano in that Italian dish ever again.
And I just can't express.
We need a script.
I need headphones. It is hard without headphones.
All right. So, yeah, stoveshelf.com.
I just can't express enough how much I literally seriously believe in this product. It's $40, 15% off. Use code BACHELOR. Pat's got something.
I got a question, Nikki. How many you think we can hawk where the guy who's paying us to do this, he'll feel whole? What if we get like 20 of these sold?
I like to sell 25 for the man. Double his investment.
All right, so do this. In the Facebook group, I'll reward you some way or a shout out or something. If you buy this thing and you put a picture of yourself or maybe just the receipt of your purchase on Facebook, I'll give you a shout out and I'll roast you on the podcast.
Can I propose something to you,
Sure.
Pat? Because this is really your territory. What if you show us your receipt, you have lifetime culling prevention. You can never
nice.
be called
Love
from
that.
the Facebook group
Love
if you
that.
buy a stove.
All
Send
right.
us your receipt. Use hashtag I got my stove shelf from another Bachelor podcast.
Seems a little long.
We have one more sponsor this evening. That is the fan favorite magicmind.co. It's where you get the elixir that will make your brain better. Navy SEALs, lawyers, doctors, us, people with brilliant, sharp minds like us and Navy SEALs and lawyers and doctors. Drink this stuff. It has magical ingredients, lion's mane, greens, things that
Matcha,
make your
adaptogens.
brain hum. It's not a cotton candy bang. It's sustained energy that makes you feel good, not like you smoked crack.
Oh.
Right? You've been there before.
I haven't, but I can only imagine the anxiety it would induce.
Yeah.
But this has 30 milligrams of caffeine, just enough to keep you going. But the matcha to keep that just flowing through your body so you get rid of like a little low grade anxiety you have when you drink a lot of coffee.
Nick, when would I drink this? Like, why? Give me a situation where I might want to have this.
This is something honestly, you're gonna want to make part of your daily routine. Have one a day, and it's gonna give you a sustained energy, an alertness. Not like that Adderall, I'm on coke, Dylan and Pat are worried about Nick kind of feeling.
Yeah.
You know where I was thinking I'm going to use this? Okay, sometimes on a Saturday night, I got a couple bottles of vino in me. This is exactly when the wife rolls over and wants a little action. Will that help me out? Like, get me up to the...
That's out of the box thinking in terms of its applications, but I think that would be quite the serum for you there, Pat, especially with that Irish cock syndrome we were talking about earlier. It'll clear some stuff out, allow the blood to get to that tiny little penis of yours. So,
and one more note.
To be fair, it's not tiny; it's just skinny,
which is worse.
Hey,
and
I'm
one
sorry,
more note on this little guy. Our first returning sponsor. You guys did a good job. And when I say you guys, I mean the Barnacles.
Yeah.
You guys didn't do shit. So show them that.
Show them. Get to magicmind.com.
Is the Bachelor the...
Use code Bachelor for
a percentage off.
I think it was 20%.
I think it was 20%
15 to 25% off. Let's get back to the show. All right, third hometown date. We've got Bree, the first girl who was almost murdered by Matt's thrill seeking. She picks him up and goes on a bumpy ride that is quite the metaphor for this show.
For their lives.
Yeah.
Because they both bond over their dad checking out and moving to Florida.
Got it. So, did Bree say she used to go off-roading as a kid?
I don't remember that. I was kind of falling asleep at this part.
She did. That's hilarious to me. Just
Hey, while they're off-roading, Matt tells her something insane. He says, hey, if you flip this thing, you get the golden ticket. Oh, golden ticket, Matt.
What is your deal with danger? This man is really, really dangerous. Seriously. He talks about how he's always had a job. And I guess the portion where she chuckles and then nervously cries and says that she doesn't have a job anymore because she came to this fucking show hit the cutting room floor. But I'm pretty sure that ensued after that.
He's like, I just don't even know the feeling I would have if I wasn't gainfully employed.
Yeah, like I would be just anxiety ridden. Like, where am I in life? Am I rudderless, you know?
That type of security is the only thing that helps me lay my head down on the pillow and fall asleep and have a peaceful night, you know? So I could imagine not having that.
So she tells Matt that mom's going to be tough on him and that she's not going to be able to provide him a conventional nuclear family. Bree, cut it out, okay? You're terrific. He's going to throw you to the curb. Please don't marry him. Please break up with him the way that Serena did.
And Bree, I just want to let you know, in terms of attracting a significant other, not having to go to in-laws every other weekend
Huge.
is a benefit. You are not bringing baggage. Don't be scared of that.
Yeah, I mean, you very, very rarely get lucky with good in-laws. I feel very fortunate. But, yeah, for the most part, I don't want to see your crusty old fucking bitch mother.
Let me make a confession, because we are simpatico as usual, guys. One of my favorite girlfriends before I met my wife, and I love my in-laws. They happen. I really hit it. I really got lucky.
Yeah.
But this girl, Sasha, who's one of my favorite girlfriends I ever had, when I met her and we started dating, I said, hey, what's up with the family? She said, Dad's dead and I don't talk to my brothers. It's like, winner.
Is that the one that punched you in the face while you were driving?
That's Lebanese Lana.
Oh, got it. Crazy Lana.
Crazy Lana.
All right, so let's get to the night date.
Night date.
Matt and Bree walk in with an oversized stuffed animal. That didn't come up again.
That rabbit, teddy bear. What the fuck?
That didn't come up
I need
again.
context.
We meet Mom and the friend Bree, who is... She's great.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're leaving out a person. We meet her baby sister, who literally is a baby. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mom's fun, but boy, she's definitely made some bad choices.
Yeah, well, Lauren's quite the Rottweiler, and she's got quite a resilient reproductive system. I like her a lot. I genuinely do. She's a total mama bear, and I think that she sees through all of his bullshit rather clearly. What else is there to say, guys?
I got some casting news for Bachelor Senior. Why don't we get this mom on there, huh? Someone can watch that kid. Right?
Bet you have a grin that's making me uncomfortable.
I'm just upset that the baby sister grilling Matt and putting his feet to the fire hit the cutting room floor.
Well, you want to know what hit the coloring room floor? Well, they had pieces of it. You could read between the lines. When Mom talks to Matt, she says, "I know this looks weird with the new baby and all, but I just wanted you to know I can still create if it doesn't work out."
Yikes. Okay, should we move away from this, please?
Just one more thing.
Okay.
Speaking of Bachelor Seniors or whatever the fuck they're calling it,
Yeah.
you know, or I know, there's one woman out there who's thinking about leaving her pilot husband to be cast on this show, and that is Pilot Pete's mom, Barbara.
Oh, yeah. Barbara's
Thirsty.
really got a taste for it.
Oh, thirsty.
Really got a taste for it.
Sweet Nums on Instagram.
Oh, my
She's
God.
Absolutely horrifying.
Talk about a Tootsie Roll owl.
And you can also get her on Cameo.
Okay.
Yeah, for like $100. Yeah. She's overpricing that.
Charge $5, Barb. That's what you're worth.
All right, so when Matt and Bree talk, I'm not sure if you wanted to get to this, but it's an interesting version of the Bachelor stages of love because she threw a wrinkle into this.
When you say interesting, do you mean that?
No, it's not interesting at all, but it's different. Okay. She says, all right, this is where, boy, she's playing with me here. And I quote, feels like she's falling in love.
Detail, motherfucker.
Well, I don't know where her head's at.
Well, he for her troubles, he says, "Thank you for sharing that."
Yeah, he did.
I think we all agree that Bree seems like she's got a good head on her shoulders. I think she was just struggling because she knew how ridiculous. She was like, just one word. I feel like I'm starting to fall in love. It was so forced. I really think for a split second, I actually saw the barrel of the gun peek onto the screen and the ears, the shadow.
We love what you're doing. We just need you to be a little bit more careful with the barrel and your shadow.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't fucking tell me what to do. Edit it out. All right, let's get. Let's get.
the fuck? I run the world.
Let's get to Serena.
Hometown date, Serena.
There's nothing wrong with a little subliminal messaging. I put dicks in all the classic movies. All right, leg wrap around. What do we got?
Okay.
Big one here.
Hold on. I want to see if there was a run.
wraparound.
Oh, yeah, big wraparound, but I didn't catch if there was a run.
Run jump.
It was a run jump.
Run jump. Yep.
I fell asleep, so you guys are probably gonna have to
Great.
finish this out.
So of course she's Canadian. She's she's absolutely incredible. You guys ever met any Canucks? You know any Yankees?
I don't trust him. Last one I interacted with, he fucking sued me. So I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I love them all except for that serial blackface wearer Trudeau.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they go over some Canadian trivia. He calls a hat a sled, and then eats fries. Canadians are such gluttons. You know, I love the food culture there. It's so cold; they have to really pack
on them.
Yeah, they pack on the caloric intake.
What is that poutine? What is it?
Poutine?
What is it?
Gravy,
fries and gravy,
curds.
Oh, that's delicious.
It was really putting me in a bad place.
You okay?
Yeah, I didn't know how to stick it in there, but I really wanted to say it all night.
I think you did it. I think you nailed it. You know, the thing about poutine is I would worry that things would get pretty soggy towards the end of the consumption. That. Really?
Oh, I love soggy food.
The particular... me too, man. Me too.
I know.
But the particular thing that really bothered me about it looked like that gravy had like solidified. It had been out all night.
Yeah,
I
congealed a little bit.
It was more set piece.
The roux, exactly. The roux tightened up a little bit. It was real gross. All right, let's get to the family. Who do we got?
We got Jesus fuck. I think I was sleeping. I'm sorry. We got mom, who's very, very attractive, and we got dad, and we got a sister.
Good guess.
Yeah,
Good guess.
Yeah.
Yes, we have the mom, the father, and a sibling. The sister, big fan of the franchise, which was quite the red flag, but she's got a fantastic head on her shoulders. The whole family is incredible, but let's take it from the top.
Let me say this. What's interesting about this final hometown, I finally got what Mickey was doing, okay? While he has a heavy hand and only cares about green, he did something interesting. He exhibited what's really happening in America, which is mixed couples. If you notice this, all the parents were mixed couples.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Even the broad that dressed in the Civil War garb had a Latin dad. Mm-hmm. No.
Was that what he was? He was something.
He looked something.
Okay,
Which
so
I feel like you should somewhat poke a hole in them being complete
But it's so
racists.
nice to see because every time we go these hometowns, now I understand why people are kind of like, hey, this show is really whitewashed because every hometown would just be the dad, white mom. Now we got to mix it
Here,
up.
come talk to me about marrying my daughter by this corn. Okay, so
And my same mom haircut that Nick Vile's mom started.
Exactly.
Swoop.
So I think that he's killing it. He's doing better than most bachelors have done. Case in point, this landmine that a lot of bachelors in the past have stepped on, which is, what do you think about her when she came out of the limo? Now, dummies in the past have stumbled over this one. They say something along the lines of, I wanted to fuck your daughter the second I saw her get out of the limo, which makes for very, very awkward kind of sizing up from the parents.
Big time.
But he's very, very vague and kind of cute about it.
Well, vague, or he just has nothing to offer to the conversation. I don't want to give him more credit than he deserves. I feel like silence helped him quite a bit. Maybe he just knows to shut up.
Yeah, because you definitely
those
don't want to
cards
say
close to
too
the
much. You don't want to say too much. You can't be like, yeah, she didn't do it for me. I really had to talk to her before I had any attraction.
Sidebar. Serena's mom. If she got some Botox, she'd be a 7.5, and I really mean that.
Gross. Not like her. I mean, you. So the sister talks very fast, but she's right on about everything. Serena, listen to her. She's spot on.
You should have known she was spot on from when she said, bring out the stool as the limo exit. Genius maneuver.
Genius maneuver.
I had said episodes back she hated him. I could feel that Serena was not into this dude at all.
Well, we'll get there in 1 second. The mother asks a question I've never heard asked before. Is he intellectually stimulating? That's an important one, huh? Took 25 seasons to ask that question. I've seen every single one.
Can I say something? These people are Indian. Can I say something about Indian culture? I dated an Indian girl named Anitu for 6 months, and she never bothered to introduce me to her family because
They hated you.
They would hate me.
Yes.
You can marry a white guy if you're an Indian girl, or an Indian guy marry a white girl, but it has to be like a real relationship. They don't want to meet the whole dating thing.
Sure,
you have to have money.
So Anitu, we have a great night. We have sex, and then she gives me the conversation. She says, do you see us getting married in the next year? And I answered quickly before I had time to gather my thoughts. She said, absolutely not. And then she said, well, then tonight's our last night. I don't want to waste anybody's time. She left the next morning. After us seeing each other every week for 6 months, I never saw her again.
Wow.
She kept her word.
Love her, dude. What a badass.
We're great friends on Facebook. She's married with 3 kids.
And she gave you one last night, one last romp.
What a woman.
Oh, yeah.
What a woman.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get to Shitface and Matt James. Well, the night ends with kind of a strange posturing and kind of dancing around the fact that I don't like you. But Chris tells him that he has to dive in and at least try to force Serena to get to the fantasy suite. He says, do you remember the yoga date, Matt? Do you remember the yoga date? Chris, you are so gross. He really is. All right, let's get to Matt and Serena. There's a cloud hanging over this in the form of her not liking him. And when there's all these dark clouds, there's all this rain everywhere, and she breaks up with him. Is this Beth hosting?
No.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because I kind of rushed it a little bit. But she says that I don't think that you're my person, which really, really hits him pretty hard. He handles it well enough. I think he's hurt by it. But I will say, for someone who doles out the can I walk you out method rather quickly, he lingers quite a bit. How does it feel, Matt?
Because
I don't think he's used to being rejected. And I mean, why would he be, right? He's a good-looking dude.
And he didn't know what to say because he kept wanting to go, can I walk you out? But then he's like, I can't say that. And
I'll walk myself out.
And then she does it for him. She goes, can I walk you out? I stood up and applauded and threw flowers in the air.
I want to say, though, this is a cunning little one here.
Yeah.
This one is making a play for the Bachelorette with this maneuver.
100%.
Hashtag we need an Indian girl for the Bachelorette. I mean, everyone's doing it, right?
And hashtag
everyone's doing what?
I mean, we eventually every ethnicity needs to be in this slot in the next couple cycles. We have to have an Asian girl.
Not everyone. We need black people.
Well, we just had 2 back to back.
I know, but we need more.
But do you think we should have a third? I mean, I don't think you do 3 times. Why don't we give it to an Asian person or something? You got my point. Indian people are up next, and they qualify as Asian. I don't know if you knew that.
Too many Indian doctors. I think we are going to stick with a black person.
All right. So if she wants the Bachelorette, she's got it. What a star this girl is. Seriously.
I agree. She's very impressive. I will say this about Matt, though, because I wouldn't have been able to keep my composure. I would have said, what the fuck? I had 4 hometowns. You were one of them.
Yeah.
It could have been someone else here. Where did you start thinking this out?
Yeah.
You fucked me. You fucked me.
Well, she did.
Over. You fucked me over.
Right, exactly. All right, so do we think that she would have been the winner? He seems pretty torn up about it.
I think it hurt his ego. I think it's either the white girl or Brie. Or Michelle. Who am I kidding? I have no clue. No spoilies on this podcast.
I don't know the answer to your question, Dylan, but what I do now believe is that Rachel, and hey, 1 star. This isn't a spoiler. This is my theory. I think Rachel won, but I don't think once we finally get to talk to Matt James, Rachel and him will still be together. And it's not going to be because of the whole controversy. He's going to say it was always Serena.
Oh, love that.
So it works out for everyone.
Couldn't quit her. Could not fucking quit her. All right, let's get to the rose ceremony. What a hot take.
Thanks.
What a hot take. Serena is not here because of all the clouds and all that rain I was talking about and how she broke up with him. He chats with Chris a little bit. Chris really puts him at ease. He says, you scared? Huh? You scared, bitch? Think anybody else feels like that? Huh, bitch? He has got to go.
Yeah, it was time.
This guy has got to go. Pat, who stays?
All right. Well, Serena already dumped his ass. So we have to go through this process. He couldn't just say, she dumped me. I didn't want her anyway. Okay? Don't let your door hit you in the ass, Serena.
Yeah.
All 3 of you are the 3 that I was going to pick anyway. Let's hear some cockies. Let's have some fun tonight.
Yeah, he didn't go with the I'm not fired, you're fired thing.
He did give a very heavy-handed speech, like, if I give you this rose, you will marry me if I ask. There is no other option.
He said, look up that window, and there was a white glove with a gun pointed out there.
There were 2 other things I noted from this. One, very savvy move by Brie to wear a dress with a turtleneck. It's kind of like those how to have friends things. You mirror the other person. That's the only reason she said.
It's like when you're in a conversation with somebody, you're supposed to repeat the last 3 words they said to you so that they know signals that yes.
I do it with my wife all day long.
Signals that yes. And so I implement things really fast.
My wife will have a full conversation with me while I'm watching TV. I'll just catch the last 3 words and I'll do that same thing. I'll just repeat them back to her. Oh, yeah, we should call him. Mm-hmm. I have no idea. Then the next day she's like, we talked about it. Anyway.
Yeah, the next day you've got a moon bouncy thing in your backyard for Ellie.
Who the fuck bought this?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? And the other thing I noted from this, I was just waiting the whole time to catch the last 3 words of whoever talked last.
Yeah.
The other thing I noted about this, he basically acted crushed that Serena didn't want to go to his hometown. So in his mind, he had already eliminated one of these girls.
Right.
Yet he brings her along just to have her heart crushed even more. I think it even would have been an interesting move to only give out 2 roses in this moment and be honest. I thought that would have been kind of a surprise. But instead, one of these girls, Brie, is just getting set up for failure.
Yeah, well, you got to go to the boom boom room. I mean, you got to give the man that.
Go to the boom room. And we've talked about it before in the past. Like, if the guy's hot enough, we're all adults. I think that the girls probably want to ride that. I mean, he's cut up from the flow up. You might as well.
You got to ride that pipe.
You got to ride that pipe.
Not wise man said.
Yeah, not all men look like that. So hit it. We'll be back next week. Next week looks like a lot of fun. We've got the women's tell-all, and this season was plagued with quite a lot of bullying, and we've got one of the most prominent villains we've had in a while making an appearance. So it's going to be fun to see America pile on and shit on the sty monster. We'll be back for all of that. Remember, patreon.com/another podcast network, stoveshelf.com, promo code Bachelor, 15% off, magicmind.co, promo code Bachelor, 15 to 25% off. Remember, iTunes ratings and reviews. Find us on Facebook. Love you guys. See you next week. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Bye, guys.